people will look into it and let me know what the hell's going on, because that's normally how it goes around here. So don't worry about that. We'll talk about the things that are going on inside of the world of the news, because that's kind of our gig of what's going on. So with that being said, what did you see go on? Does anything get you excited? Did anything get you moving and grooving while I was gone? Anything that you want to share, talk about, all that kind of fun stuff? It's okay, because a lot was going on. So I don't want it to be like, hey, we can't talk about these things, because that's what we do. We talk a little bit about everything. So I guess with that being said, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to talk about? Because I think that all these things are super important to do so, opposed to it just being, hey, rinky dinky, and not talk about anything, which I feel that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. So I guess the first thing that comes about as we were listening to all these news stories together, the Julian Assange thing is quite interesting, and maybe starts making you raise a lot of questions about certain aspects of life. Let's just be realistic here, because with that being said, of this is the new change-orama. What do you think about this in regards to extradition, and then getting back this general direction with everything that's happened? I mean, and this has been years now, so I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this unveils going forward, opposed to it just being, rinky-dinky, let it be stinky, and opposed to anything else going on. So, anyways, let's go from there. I have to tell you, with my time away, do I want to do main story now before we get into news? Or do I want to do some other things first? Maybe we should do some other things first before I just start, blabbing McGabbin over here, opposed to it being just everything that was going on. I mean, I feel like there were so many things that happened over the short period of time that I was gone, that I think that there might be some things that we need to adjust, move, groove, and all that other kind of fun things. So let's do this. Let's talk a little bit more about what is going on. So with that being said, let's talk about what was happening according to the hit list. Late last week, at least 5 SpaceX employees circulated a letter for their colleagues to sign to, which called for Elon Musk and the others, the companies, etc., to make the company more inclusive. In particular, the writers called Musk, who founded SpaceX, an embarrassment and a distraction to the organization. SpaceX President and Chief Operating Officer Gwyneth Shotwell told the New York Times that the employees who circulated the letter had been terminated. And she added that their behavior made other staff uncomfortable, intimidated, and bullied, or angry, because the letter pressured them to sign onto something they did not reflect as their views. So there you go. Anyways, talking a little bit more about the Julian Assange thing, here's another step closer to returning to the United States to face espionage charges connected to his leaking the trove of the classified government documents back in 2010. Assange was holed up in Ecuador's embassy in London from 2012 to 2019, when then he was arrested after his asylum was withdrawn. He's since been in London prison. On Friday, the UK's Home Secretary Priti Patel signed an order to extradite Assange back to the U.S. Assange's lawyer says that they will continue to appeal this decision. I don't know. There's so much there. There's so much there to possibly talk about. There's so much there to move on to. There's so much there that we could possibly look at and then go, hey, how does this make any sense for what is going on in our little worldy? So just some stuff to think about for sure as we are moving and grooving. So with that being said, let's continue forward with some other things. Claudia Sanders, yes, we'll talk about that real quick. Claudia Sanders' dinner, a diner house in Salisbury, Kentucky, is on the market for the first time. The KFC founder, Harlan Sanders, opened the spot back in 1959, and he was the launchpad for his fried chicken empire. It's since stayed in the family and under control of close family friends. The listing sits 3 acres of land, includes 5,000 square foot of home where Harlan and Claudia Sanders lived for 2 decades, a 2,500 square foot restaurant and banquet hall. No prices available publicly, but potential buyers will have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to show proof of at least $5 million cash on hand before making an earnest offer. This is according to AP reports. So what do you think? 5 million zillion illion dollars, just to make sure. Anyways, the San Diego Zoo has welcomed the first advocate in nearly 40 years. Zoo officials have yet to unnamed baby is gaining the healthy weight and will be ready to be seen by visitors in about 2 months. Once they have allowed adequate time for it to bond with its mother. So hold on. So you're telling me that it'll be adequate time to be able to do this slowly after the timeline has went away of when school's back in. So I guess that's a good timeline for that to actually work out.
Duh.
So there's some stuff to think about. Anyways, with that being said, a lot of things going on inside of the world of Rama here. I think it is time to bring in some Johnny Smalls and let him tell us a little bit, just a little bit, about the market minute. So here we go.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, June 20th, 2022. Equities broke out of a downtrending channel to the downside last week in evidence of mounting fear about the economy. The FOMC was forced to hike rates by 75 basis points in what some would call a surprise move. Others, however, would say the FOMC is still behind the curve, and at least one more, if not two more, 75 basis point hikes were needed. Regardless of the pace, the takeaway for the market is that inflation is still out of control, and aggressive rate hikes are making the cost of business more expensive. In this scenario, economic activity can be expected to contract, and there is evidence of that already. The index of leading indicators fell for the second month by 0.4%, suggesting an economic recession is already in play. This week will be a hurdle for the market because of how little new information is set to be released. On the economic front, there are only 2 data points due out, and both are from the housing sector. On the earnings front, there are only a handful of confirmed reports, and very few from companies other than home builders. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for letting us know what is going on inside of that neck of the woods, because that's always important as we are talking, moving, and grooving, and all that kind of fun stuff. So thank you for that tidbit of information. So there you go. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things that are having a factoid, and all that kind of fun stuff inside of this lovely world of ours. So what we found on our neck of the woods is the Dow closed below 30,000 points again on Friday after losing 38.29 points. A 0.13 on that day. Both the S&P plus 808.07 plus 0.22%, and the NASDAQ at 152.25 or 1.43% showed both gains. Both West Texas Intermediate and Brent crude were well under $120 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas is back to under $5. Bitcoin railed over the weekend, picking up $1,593.40 at a 8.41% yesterday. So there you go. Some information there. Talking about the price of fuel, I will tell you, here in good old Orlando, yes, Orlando, it has been, since I've gotten back, probably in the 470 range, 476. And I was on the highway yesterday, and this is how sad life has gotten, that I saw gas for $4.54, and I was super excited being in my car that I had to go to that gas station right away, because it was that, not realizing, boy, is it still astronomical, the price of fuel, but also at the same time, too, going, what the hell is going on? Down in Kiddo's section of Baja California that I was in, it was amazing to see the gas was roughly about $5.20 a gallon. Well, but they sell it by liters there, so just kind of have to do the math equation to get that figured out. Anyways, let's talk about the box office, because, you know, some people want to know about what's going on inside of the world of movies. So let's talk about that real quick. At the number 10 spot over the weekend was Brian and Charles at $198,000. And number 9 was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with $228,000. And number 8 was Downtown Abbey, A New Era, $830,000. Number 7 was Everything Everywhere All at Once at $959,000. And number 6 was The Bad Guy with $980,000. And number 5, The Bob's Burgers Movie, $1.1 million. And number 4 was Doctor Strange in the Multi-Universe of Madness at $4.2 million. I think that comes out this week on Disney Plus. I don't know why I think that, but for some reason I do. At number 3 was Top Gun Maverick with $44 million. And at the number 2 spot was Lightyear with $51 million. And the number 1 spot, according to the box office, was Jurassic World Dominion with $58.6 million. That was actually doing the topper there. So there you go. A lot of stuff that was happening inside of the world of the box office, if you were so inclined to be taking a look-see around on all those fronts, because that's important. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about what is going on inside of this world of ours, because it is one of these things that when you and I have interactions and you and I have these discussions on things that are going on. So I am finally seeing more and more places willing to open up and finally doing, full-blown conferences almost to the way that they were set up previously. So I find that's pretty interesting. And we're back to the equation of going through all of these things as things are happening, where people are keynoting and doing speeches and talking about the things that they have found. So it's good to see that things are becoming lively again. And I'm not talking about Blake. I'm just saying lively in general. But with that being said, are we ready for the next thing? Are we ready to do the next conference? Are we ready to start moving? Are we seeing the flow of moolah come in regards of being able to do that? I mean, like right now as we speak, if inside of your organization, if you said, hey, I am ready to go to conference X, Y, or Z, would they tell you that they are ready to go and move forward? I'm just asking because it's a big question. It's a big discussion point to have at this moment. I mean, what do you think about it? Is it something that you're seeing in your orgy, or are you saying, not happening yet? They're not willing to send us out live in among people yet. I mean, I get it. I get some places that are willing to do so, and there are some places that are not willing to do so at this particular moment. So with that being said, what are you doing? Are you still in the expenditure zone where you are spending money on these conferences because your workplace will not allow you to go out and do your thing? I'm just asking. I just want to have a better understanding of it. So anyways, with that being said, I think we are close enough. We are close enough to do that thing that we do that is called our main story. So let's go ahead and do that right now.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So I have to tell you, over the time period that I was gone and taking a look around and moving and grooving and doing all that kind of fun stuff, boy, has things changed inside of my world in regards on how I look at things and how I go about and go, things that make you go, huh. So I will tell you, as I was going around and taking a gander on what is going on inside of different, scenarios of our world, in different areas, different places, and different things that we do, it is amazing to me that we still have issues in our country, and I'm talking about the U.S. here, in regards on where we see issues with safety protocols, issues with things that just don't make a lot of sense to us, and we question them, and we move forward, and we bring them to other people and see what we can do to change and all that, and it's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is good that we are willing to do some of these things. But the funny part is when you start looking around and saying, okay, we have an issue here, here's a level of correction, this is the next thing that we need to do. When you tend to take a visit to other places and take a look around at what they have, it's amazing at times to see on how our trajectory has changed, on how far ahead we are on different compared to other countries, better say. So let's talk about something that's important and something that we've been doing in this country for some time, and that's the American Disability Act, where things have been modified, changed to meet the requirement of disabled people in regards of how large walkways are, on how certain things are laid out inside of buildings, on how some of our transportation systems are set up, and so on. Now, the interesting part is when you take a visit to another country, which I was doing, which we have discussed already, it's amazing to see on how those things are not as important because things have not been set up. And looking around in just some of those aspects and seeing on how those things are, and I'm talking about just a disability act, not necessarily the American Disability Act, because of course when you're in another country, it doesn't work that way. But just taking a look at on how some of those things are not set up for proper usage, for proper terms, for proper things for people to be able to do. It's just amazing on how that works out. But with that being said, you take a look at it and go, how far behind are they? And what do you do to change it? Also, the other side of things, it was amazing to me to see the amount of work that was being done specifically in the area that I was in. And realizing and coming to the visualization on how far people are behind when it comes to like fall protection. How far people are behind in regards of just things that we would do as simple protocols inside of here. So when I start taking a look around and start having this discussion, it's not to pick on other countries, but it's also to realize on, yes, we still have tons of room of improvement that we need. Things that we need to improve that are going on and going about. But also at the same time as well, when do we start taking a look and go, okay, not to rest on our laurels, but realize how far we have moved forward, to see how far things have come for us in regards of what we've been doing. I mean, it's things that we have to add some value to. It can't just sit back and go, can't talk about it, can't move about it, can't really distinguish anything about it, because these are things that are still important. Think about it for a moment. Think about how far you've come inside of your organization in regards of whatever you have going on. I'm pretty sure that from what you had going on from day one to what you have going on now, it should have improved based on what your determination and the things that you were pushing forward with. Correct? I mean, isn't that the way that it supposedly works? Or are you looking at it and going, that's not what's happening? Because that's the things that we need to talk about. Right now, the level of improvement that has taken place at your organization, how would you rate it? Has it improved significantly since you started? And if you were able to take that stuff and move it elsewhere into other organizations, do you think it would be an improvement? Do you think it would be something that people would admire based on what has been done? And listen, I know that a lot of organizations are more about what have you done for me lately, opposed to anything else. And I get it. I understand it. I have the conversations with it. But at what point do you sit back and go, we need to talk and understand better what is going on? Because that's the thing. That's the gig. At some point, we have to realize that things have improved for us, opposed to it always being, everything is so terrible. Yes, it does not change day in and day out. Yes, we still want people to be safe. Yes, we still want people to make it home in as good or better condition than what they arrived in. That's all still important stuff. But at some point, you have to take a look at the bigger scope. You have to take a look at the bigger picture and go, boy, things have changed and we are on a path for things to get better. The thing that we run into our industry is we seem to be the doom and gloom people. I know it sounds shitty in regards to saying it, but let's be honest. Doom and gloom. Is that really what we want to be? Do we want to be the safety cops, Or do we want to look at things from a different aspect on how things have improved? Because I think that at points we tend to forget how many things are better than they once were. And it's not comparing, our country to others, but it's also looking at, are we better than what we were yesterday? And it's okay from time to time to sit back and look at your garden and see how beautiful it is compared to what it once was. It is okay to do that. Anyways, that's something to think about today. I'm sure that when you start thinking about it, you might have some more questions than answers.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
It's a new year, but it's feeling harder than ever to find and hire qualified people you need, especially for small businesses. That's where LinkedIn Job comes in. They make it easier to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. You can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified people. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number one in delivering qualified hires versus leading competitors. I have to tell you that we have used LinkedIn Jobs to even find some of the people that we have here at Safety FM. LinkedIn Jobs can help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your jobs for free on linkedin.com/safetyfm. That's linkedin.com/safetyfm to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And don't forget to tell them that you heard it right here on Safety FM. It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com. Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, The Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring Safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you. Oh, there you go. Tell me you love me. No, seriously, say it. 42 minutes past the top of the hour. This one is called Tell Me You Love Me. Not that I'm asking for, for you to tell me, but you can tell me if you'd like. This song is readily available on Spotify and iTunes. This is Nightcap. Thank you for Nightcap for being so kind to allow us to play this one on the Rated R Safety Show. Because, without the world of music, I probably wouldn't be here.
Tell me you love me.
Anyways, there you go. Some house beats. Doing our move and groove. This is some dance music right thing, the first thing in the morning. Just, let's get to dancing. What else the hell are we going to do? You can do it. You can dance. I'm not dancing. Anyways, thank you to Nightcap for this one. Okay, let's slow that down a little bit faster now. A little bit faster. Okay, so there you go. 43 minutes past the top of the hour, and here we go. Apparently this music does not want to stop. Okay, it's that time. It is the time to tell you the most important thing that I will get to tell you, so thank you for allowing me to do so. Well, let me tell you about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local community whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or text the word TALK to 741-741. Or you can go to afsp.org. That is afsp.org. Listen, I get it. Life is not easy. Things are tough. We sometimes struggle with things that are going on inside of the world. We sometimes struggle with things that are going on in our life. Sometimes there are things that seem like giant rocks that are in our way and we don't know how we're going to get around them or get through them. And I get it. Our minds sometimes make these things that are super difficult in the way that we take a look at them. I get it. So if you are struggling with suicidal thoughts, if you are struggling with depression and not sure what to do, call these people, 1-800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741, or go to afsp.org. That's afsp.org to do so. Seriously, don't do anything else until you've spoken to them if you are going through this. And listen, it is good also as well to learn information about this subject. You never know when you can be a ray of hope for others. You never know when this information might be crucial to what you have going on. So a lot of stuff there as we are talking. Anyways, let's get back into some moves and grooves of things that are going on inside of this world, because that's what we do here when we are here, apparently. We talk about the things that are happening inside of El Mundo. So let's talk about this real quick and some more news stories. Watch and Earn. Yes, you did hear me correctly. A new streaming service is offering viewers the chance to watch for free without ads or subscription, and they're offering you to pay you in cryptocurrency to do it. Launched last month, Rewarded TV allows users to earn crypto tokens as they watch and invest the currency back into paying content providers or buying NFTs to supporting creators. The streaming platform is available on the web for major platforms now, offering thousands of hours of free content, including the Agatha Christie mystery and Then and There Were None, and Casper Van Dien led biopic. James Dean Race with Destiny. Owners and former advertising executive Krish Advosky says that the plan to monetize rewarded TV in the future through premium content and perks of viewers can unlock with their RPlay tokens or cash. Actually, he plans to become a huge pain in you know what to other streaming services so that one will buy him out for billions in a couple of years, but he can't say that right now. The way the crypto is going lately, they'll have to pay me to take it. So I don't know. So what do you think? Would you watch reward TV if somebody was paying you to watch it? I mean, I know that there's money out there nowadays to do a little bit of everything, and we can talk about that here in a bit. I mean, I will tell you there are more remote jobs now that are currently available that have been at any point of our little existence in regard to talking about it. So what do you think? Is this something that tickles your fancy? And I did say fancy. I just want to make sure. So with that being said, let's talk about some other unexpected effects of things that are going on. If you're trying to cut back on spending, researchers say that you may want to hold off on drinking caffeine before heading to the store. An international study led by the University of South Florida found that drinking coffee before going shopping can impact what products you buy choose to buy, as well on how you spend your money. A press release says the caffeine, as a powerful stimulant, releases dopamine in the brain, which excites the mind and the body. Hey there, hey now. This leads to the higher energetic state, which turns enhancement in impulsivity and decreases self-control. This decreases the self-control that can lead to shopping impulsivity in terms of higher number of items purchased and greater spending. Oddly, the results did not hold true when Christmas shopping for one of mother's-in-laws. I'm not saying mine. I'm just saying somebody's mother-in-law. I'm not picking here. Just something to think about. So what do you think about that? I mean, I can tell you, I know of some people that if you sent them out there shopping without their caffeine, they ain't doing shit. They're not doing anything because there's no way. I'm not a caffeine drinker. Just for those not on the visual side, now I'm drinking my energy drink. Anyways, let's continue talking. Catnip isn't pleasurable for cats. Did you know about this? It's also practical. When your kitty rubs and rolls and chews and licks and catnip leaves, it leads to the release of compounds that might protect cats from mosquitoes, according to a new research out of Japan. Compounds called iridios in catnip and plant slivers of a vine act as an insect repellent. And they also are released when the cats rub their bodies against the leaves. Catnip, sometimes called cat mint, and silver vine are also used as cat toys. When a cat's stoned on catnip, he cares about much more than mosquitoes. I'm just saying. I mean, really, is it? I don't even know sometimes on how some of our news stories become news stories. But anyways, with the cat in mind, I think it might be time to bring in some Johnny Small for some Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Kyle. Seneca said, "See how many are better off than you are, but consider how many are worse." I like that. I start and end each day with a prayer of thanks. I've not always done this, but since I have, I can't even imagine not doing it. Does that mean I have everything I want? No. But I've been very blessed to have everything I need and so much more. I always try to be a blessing to those around me as well. It makes each and every day one to be thankful for. If you don't already do that, you may want to consider trying it. I just list the things I'm thankful for, and it's a long list and growing all the time. I don't think that's a coincidence. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlessaMorgan.com. Most of us are familiar with frustration when it comes to losing weight. This frustration may be exacerbated if you were making good progress and then suddenly hit a weight loss plateau, or if you're noticing you're losing weight slower than someone else who's following the same program. There are two important things to keep in mind. First, not only our bodies have individual differences in terms of genetics, hormones, and metabolism, but we also start in different places with how stored toxins affected our body and slowed down functions of the liver and other organs participating in metabolism. Second, the switch from being a carb burner into a fat burner doesn't happen overnight, and your body needs time to create the enzymes and pathways it needs to efficiently run on fat. That's also why consistency is so important, as you're helping your body to reprogram itself. For additional information, check out alessamorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, do we have to take it down to the finite detail of name calling? Is that what we're getting to now? Anyway, so there you go. Currently 52 minutes past the top of the hour. So what does that mean in your world and my world? I don't know. It means that it's 52 minutes past the top of the hour. That's what I thought it meant. That's why I mentioned it. Anyways, with that being said, let's talk about this because I think that this is going to be important. We are on this close of telling you about our newest show that we are adding to Safety FM. Yes, new host, new show that will be coming that general direction. I had something planned, and apparently it did not work out the way that I planned, but we will talk about this closely. And be on the lookout because we will be telling you in the next coming days on the new show, new host that is coming around and about here. And you'll be hearing it in our podcast network, and you'll be hearing it inside of our world of the radio network. So I think this will be something exciting to talk about. So we will talk a little bit more here in the next few days, and we will give you that information because I think that we should have a gander little discussion about it because that is the things that we do around here. We talk about the things that are happening inside of our world. Anyways, no winner for Friday's Mega Million drawing. Tuesday's night's drawing will be for $290 million or $162.3 million cash payout. No winner for Saturday night's Powerball either. Tonight's jackpot will be for $296 million or $166.1 million cash payout. So there you go. So, a lot of stuff there. What is this? Jamie Spears has filed legal documents that call for her daughter Brittany to be deposed about statements that she made about her handling of her estate. Do we really care about this here? I don't think this is something we're going to talk about here. Yeah. So, there you go. So, yeah, let's talk about some other stuff because I think that's... We'll skip that. We'll skip that if you want to go over to the Jay Allen of the Morning Show on RadioBig.fm here. Starting in about 6 minutes or so, we can discuss that over there. I don't think that's the discussion for here. Anyways, let's talk about some birthdays real quick that are going on inside. Do we want to talk about birthdays now? Let's talk real quick about things that happened back on to this, ladies. Let's do that. Back in 2017, Mattel releases 15 new body types for their Ken doll. One of them called Man Bun. The new design were part of toy makers' new agenda for diversity on their toys. Barbie underwent a similar makeover in the previous years with new body types, skin tones, eye color, and hairstyles on the trend of fashions. So there you go. That happened back on this date, back in 2017. Let's talk about some birthdays real quick. Christopher Mintz-Faz from Superbad turns 33. Tika Sumter, 42. Frank Lampard, 44. Chino Moreno, 49. Nicole Kidman turns 55 today. John Goodman, 70. Lionel Richie, 73. And Anne Murray turns 77. If you're looking at some reasons to celebrate today, I probably have some of those for you to do so. It's American Eagle Day, International Tennis Day, Word Productivity Day, National Coggan Amen Day, National Ice Cream Soda Day. What the hell is that? I want to know that. National Vanilla Milkshake Day. Vanilla? Really? Vanilla? National World Refuge Day. National World Refuge Day? Is that World Refuge Day? Okay, whatever. And Cherry Tart Day. So there you go. Those are some things that you can do and celebrate if you're so inclined to do so. Anyway, some quick whack facts. NASA accidentally tapped over the moon. There are no known original recordings of that event, so there you go. The average cloud weighs about 1.1 million pounds. The average soccer player runs as far as 9.5 miles per single game. Seals sleep only 1.5 minutes at a time. The eye makes movements 50 times every second. A gut feeling is a chemical signal that your stomach creates to warn you that your brain is in danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. So there you go. What else do we got? So let's talk about this. If you need a random joke for today, I got one for you. It sounds something like this. True friends don't judge each other. They judge other people together. Think about that real quick. Anyways, if you need a phone starter for today, try this one. If you could be anyone else for a day, famous or not, who would it be? That's a good one to think about. And then if you need something for the water cooler, try this. Question. A third of people say they do this only when they're on vacation. What is it? Eat dessert. Only on vacation? Shit, every day should be a holiday then. Something to think about. So there you go. That's going to sum up pretty much everything. We'll take a look into what's going on. It sounds like a good chunk of the visual services did come back. It does sound like some of them didn't, but a good chunk of them did, so I apologize about that. We'll take a look-see onto that. If you want to see the visual radio aspect, like I always tell people, you're more than welcome on doing so by going to Visual Radio on the Safety FM website, or you can go to Safety FM Plus, and it'll be up there in probably about an hour or so if you're so inclined to do so. Also, the podcast network, we're always doing that stuff here, so don't worry about that. And we are, of course, live on radiobig.fm and on safetyfm.com. So there you go. I was so excited this morning that I forgot to even mention that, but that's okay. So those are the things that happen when I get so excited of being here with you. That's what happens. Anyways, thank you so much for taking a listen to what we have going on, because we couldn't do what we do around here without you, the most important part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. If you want to come and hang out with me, I will be going over to radiobig.fm for the next couple of hours. We'll talk about some things that are going on, the world of music and all that kind of fun stuff, because I think that those things are important. If I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one, and this is what it sounds like. The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in the person's determination. Think about it. What have you done that you thought that was impossible, but you were able to pull off? I'm sure there's a lot of things. The mind is sometimes the things that put you at limit. Anyways, I know who you are. Do we want to go there yet? Anyways, just real quick. I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye. Make sure to come over to Radio Big if you want to come and hang out, because I think that that's going to be important.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Tell me you love me.